Okay, thank you so much. Welcome to this meeting this morning. The essence of conclave is for us to recharge our week, to get ready for what is ahead of us, and all that. And by God's grace, for those of us who have been part of the conclave, just also get ready to to also bring in your own part of life, your thoughts and all of them. They are all going to be tabled at the conclave at each point we call on you. So get ready for all that. Okay, 25, 30, 35. The picture continuously play. You will naturally display those things you've been snapping. And by the end, at that point, it has made up your 95% of who you are. So only 5% of you are this have this capacity to enter to accept additional pictures. Now you're being controlled by the 5% of you, and if you've been loaded with things that does not make you grow you, transform you to raw material to useful resources, you'll be on the other side. You will not be that useful. You will just be there. But now for you to become, a material, a human capital that will be so useful, for you to become a human asset that will be so useful, there must be something that will hit your mind. There must be something that will that will remove that picture. And those things, and for that thing to distort you, and for that interjection to hit you, is something you must deliberately work on yourself. Yes, I'm just squeezing that the 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 research. I'm just bringing it in a simpler language. Now that interception is what happens to you when you wake up very early in the morning. When you wake up very early in the morning, that your mind is a state of is at that state where it's as good as it's fresh. It's like a baby. There's nothing inside it. But what you feed your mind that early morning is what determines whether you will become an asset or you become a liability. So, if you've been feeding your mind with junks that have been making you unproductive, that have been making you, let me use the word, the mind, the way you feed your mind determines whether you'll be poor or you'll be wealthy, or you have negative impact or positive impact. If you be having negative impact, and you be working on, or you'll be on that part that you're not impacting positively in the system, in your life and people around you, then this 5 a.m. is very important to you, because you'll be getting things that will help you to interject that negative one, so you start reducing the 99, and then you start increasing the 5% to 10%, from 10 to 15, and there you recalibrate yourself. So what runs in your system is what makes you an asset, a positive one for that. And you start impacting life. And once that starts happening to you, you find that the area of making money and all that comes. That's that's a research. Now, having understood this, that is where you can move from a human resource to what, to human capital. And this human capital is where you narrow down your area of expertise. At a human capital stage, you've narrowed down your area of expertise. That this is where I want to measure. You become the best among the best in that area. From there, you now become the assets. How do you become asset? Your ability to utilize that, your area of human capital, to utilize it properly, positively. That what makes you an asset to individual, to organization, to the society, to a nation, to continent, to the globe. And we'll call it the evolution of significant personalities. The reality is that you can be an asset in multiple parts. So it means that I'm okay. Let me use it. I'm an asset in let's say in the area of, okay. Let me just, okay. So making of clothing. I mean, my design of clothing is so wonderful. I'm an asset in that area. I can decide to pick up another area and go back again as raw material, get get transformed into human resource in that area. So if you can be an asset in multiple areas, but you must go and take back again. Don't just say, okay, I'm a professor in this area. You now keep your hand like my professor. No. If you must become asset in multiple areas, you must learn to rotate, go back again and become a raw material in your new area and groom yourself, transform to capital from to human resource to capital to asset. So you can be asset in like 3, 4, 5 areas as your capacity can carry you. So the evolution is not just a one-time thing. It can run over and over and over and over. That's the reality. Any discussion on the others' points? Discussion, contribution, anyone, please. I know I have great minds around, so please, I want to, it's a conclave. Let's hear from each other. Let's hear from each other. I will appreciate you raise your hand so that you can call us in. Let's hear from each other. Good. Capacity building is the best. I love that. I love that. I love that. That's from Chinonso. You're welcome. Let's try from each other. What are your areas? What are other things you can add to this? This is a conclave. I want to get your own view about it, your own knowledge about it, your own studies about it before we move on to the next one. Okay. If there's no contribution, okay, go ahead. Any contribution? Sister Mary, are you contributing? Okay, let's move on. Next, I want us to think about this. Think about this. Every significant personality lives in the future. Yes. Every significant personality lives in the future. Every good. Yeah, okay. Okay, the video is also bringing in the trust quotient. Yeah, beautiful. As we know, plan. Good. Trust quotient. Very, very important. Yes. Very, very key. Every significant personality lives in the future. Now, when you groom yourself, when you move yourself to become an asset, now you start living in the future. That future simply means you'll be able to identify needs, be able to see errors, be able to see where the world is going to. You see 10 years ahead, 50 years ahead, 100 years ahead, and start not just preparing yourself for it, you also prepare others around you for it. That's the reality. You prepare your team, you prepare your organization, you prepare your community, you prepare as much as you can prepare for the future ahead of us. That's that's what one significant about these kind of personalities. That is one difference about them. So if when you see any man, any woman that lives in the future, that person is a significant personality. Yes, you're discussing with them about now, but they can sit down and tell you what the future will look like. And you see that they are working towards it while they are still enjoying their presence. They enjoy the present, but the future is in their mind. 90% of what they do is about the future. Why they are enjoying the present because they already have planned for the present. So the present is not a challenge for them again. Is the future is their challenge. That's just reality. That's just reality. That's just reality. So having gotten this, why most people will never build wealth and we looked at this critically as a significant personality. Please don't be trapped in 8 to 5 mindsets. We did not say you should not go to work. Work. If what you're doing currently is working, beautiful. you're employed, beautiful. But don't be trapped in that. Don't be trapped in it. As you're doing the work and you're handsomely taken care of by the job you're doing, beautiful. But don't be trapped in it. Most people are trapped in their 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 or 9 to 4, no matter the figure you're putting there. And by the time they understand they are old, they are useless. No, no, don't be trapped in it. Get financial education, then don't wait for luck. Luck does not exist. Luck does not exist. Not just financial education, get other areas of education. Luck, don't wait for luck. Luck does not exist. Walk yourself through it. Walk yourself through becoming this kind of personality. The world will do for you. Just develop yourself. Solve problems. Not just make impact. The world will do for you. So our business, our discussion will focus more on the business because it's a business school. Our discussion will focus more on the business part. So please, so we'll be working toward discussing towards that and wealth creation and all that. Then I will give you a little of my journey, a little of myself, a little of myself. I I used to be in the bank in the bank, and I did like 12 years at the bank. But something was very, very significant about the banking sector and me. And what was that? In the bank, if you bring in idea, the auditors will tell you, or you do something and use your idea to get it done. The auditors will tell you to your face that you're not paid to think, that you're paid to carry out instructions. And that wasn't going down well with me. That's simple reality. That was not going down well with me at all, because I always I'm this type of person that I don't want to continue doing what I'm used to, continue just doing the same thing, the same thing, the same thing, the same thing, the same thing. I like thinking, okay, how can we improve on this? How can we do it? We've done it today. How can we do it better tomorrow? It may take me time, but I appreciate that improvement. And the bank will tell you, no, 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 no. Your job is not to think. Your job is to remain just like that. Don't think, don't think, don't think at all. Don't think at all. So it was a challenge for me. And I started asking myself, how do I, balance myself between the bank and what we are doing? What is inside of me? Because I kept getting query for, bringing ideas. However, the other way around, when things get, when they get stuck, they will still come back to you again and start asking you questions. How do we come out of it? In fact, that's the point when we move from T24, okay, from one platform to T24, that's the software we're using. And most of the GLs did not work. That's General Ledger. For those that in the accounting, understand it more, didn't work. They were thrown off, and CBN was just querying the bank. In fact, in my branch, then we had over a GL that's about 2 billion off, and I was called. Sorry, 1 minute. All right, so I was called to my from head office that our GL is out and all that. They were like, "What am I doing in that branch?" I said, "Sir, I'm doing my job. We know the rule. I will ask not to do any other thing, and all that and all that. Just focus on your area of what you're called to do." And I said, okay. They said, okay. What would they do for them to for me to get that GL fixed? I said, give me 2 weeks off my regular job, and I'll fix it. And that's what they did. So they created me. They created me as an auditor, as internal control, and with internal control capacity, I was able to get into the GL and fix the GL, and the GL became good, very, very good. So why am I saying this? The journey wasn't funny at all in the banking sector, But when I started going through trainings and past some people like Philandro Toye and the rest of them, Philandro Toye actually was in 2019, sorry, yeah, 2007, yeah, 2007. And I started working on myself, going for things that, I have that part of banking there, but I started knowing that I know that I have something else that is not banking or does not study with the way banking think. And today, that's it. So you must understand who you are first. You should be able to know the way you function if you must be part of this significant personality. Know your area of strength and all and all and all, and that will help you. I know there are more to it. Now, and for us to make headway, we must understand the codes, what we call the codes. And these are fundamentals that have helped me in my life as a person, the codes. So I will share it with us. I will share these codes with us as much as I can. It's about 20, I think about 24 of them. These have helped me as a person. So I will take time, we'll share it one after the other and see how it works and how it has been helping me. You can also develop your own codes in your own area. Remember, I told us we're going to focus more on business and wealth creation. You can also develop your own codes. These are the codes that have helped me over time. And among that codes that are that have helped me, there are these 8 pillars. These are fundamental 8 pillars that have been. I mean, you can't change it. It's a global. It's a global. It works at a global platform. It works at any time and any day. The 4S and the 4Ps had to talk about the stakeholders, talk about the services, talk about structure, talk about systems, talk about policies, talk about products, talk about processes, talk about procedures. These 8 are very, very, very significant. And if you miss it, if you miss any of them, your system, you as a person, you may not really, yes, you may be so equipped, but you may not come to the limelight. That's reality. You may be so equipped, but you will not be able to your ability to impact the people that you're meant to impact. You may not have access to them, or you may not really come up the way you should. Now, it's not about noise making, it's about impact. Yes, you may make all the noise, and the opportunity will be given to you. You find that when you get to the place of opportunity, everything is messed up. That's reality. So think about it. Think about it very, very well. Very, very well. Think about it. You may get to the place of opportunity, and you find that it's messed up. It may be just because of what you don't understand how stakeholders work. I don't understand how stakeholders work. Only that alone can be a mess. So we'll discuss this as we flow. We'll discuss it as we flow. Number one code: define your position in the economic ranking of life. Define your position in the economic ranking of life. Very, very important. How do we mean here? Please, I want to beg us. Don't ever wake up and just start acting because you saw Yusuf is doing well. You saw no. Please stabilize yourself economically. Stabilize yourself economically. Stabilize yourself economically. If you cannot stabilize yourself economically, you're not going to be part of African personality. You must define yourself, know your ranking. Now, it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with your current source of income. No, it's all about telling yourself, yes, and today I'm a barrow pusher. Tomorrow I want to have a transport company running. I want to have a transport company running. Do you understand it? I want to be among the top in transportation. From the barrel you're pushing, with that kind of mindset, you have started defining your economic position already. The question is, how do I move from as a barrel pusher to become one of the top transporter in my environment? That's a simple question. How do I move from a barrel pusher to what a truck pusher to what one of those that run transport top transportation? That question alone is enough. Is enough. Is enough. That question alone is enough. If you ponder over it over and over and over and over and over and over and over, in the next few years, you will see yourself from truck you're pushing, you see yourself you move to bicycle, from bicycle to machine, from machine to tricycle, from tricycle, just like that, just like that. You see yourself keep moving. That's the reality. That's the reality. That's the reality. So it has nothing to do with I don't have anybody who will help me. My father did not help me. My mother did not help me. No. Once you understand those eight fundamental pillars, you can become anything on earth. You can become anything on earth. You can become anything on earth. So let no one wake up and say, because I don't have my parents don't help me. Go and check it. Most people that are doing so well today, most people that are assets in their areas and all of them, their parents were not involved at all. I'm not talking about those that stole resources. No. That there are genuine people that have worked their way through. There are genuine people that have worked their way through. Their parents were not involved. So please, define your economic state. Nobody will do it for you. Define it by yourself. Nobody deceive you on this. And don't deceive yourself as well. Very, very important. Define your economic state. Code 2. Please, when you define your economic state, then activate your survival mode. Very, very important. In this thing I'm doing, what will help? What I mean, how do I survive? What will be my least input in it that make sure that I'm floating, I'm eating, I'm surviving, while I will now use the extra part of it to now start moving to my next phase of life. No matter the stage of life you are, ask yourself, how do I activate my survival mode? What are your survival modes? What does it look like? What are those basic things I will do that will make sure that at least I must have food? Let me go back to the truck pushing again, because that's a common thing. And honest living you can earn. There are so many other ways you can earn honest living. But let me use truck as a basic. Every day you're pushing truck, and by the end of the day you're making 5,000, you're making 1,000, you're making 2,000, depends on, and you give out the person you hired the truck from, and all that. Out of that, you ask yourself, how can I move from where I am? Is it knowledge that I need? Is it this? What are the basic things I can do to improve and move? I've activated myself. I'm sure that on daily basis I'm getting this. That is activating your survival mode. On monthly basis, I'm getting this. I'm sure of this. This one must come in. I'm sure. So how do I now improve to make sure that more will come in? That is the activation. At that point in time, there's a level of a stability. Please, stability is not about when you buy this, okay, I need a car. No, you can still be trekking and you are stable. Yes. You can live in one room and you're stable. Yes. You want to build your own house. You want to have those, live for what is your mind. You do well if you're living in GRA, no problem. But you're living in one room, you can still be stable. Yes, stabilize. You're squatting with somebody. Yes, stabilize. Activate your survival mode. Yes. Live part-time. Live part. That's the state at which you are. Let it understand it. It shouldn't be a burden at all. Understand it, and then from there you plan for the next one. But most times we don't even understand the state at which we are in. Our survival mode is not activity. We don't even know where we are at which our economic, we don't even know our economic ranking. And or the next thing is that this one is not happening to you, this one is not happening to you. You allow stress to take away your ability to do what? To move into the third stage. And what's the third code? Ability to think. Instead of thinking, you're worrying. Instead of thinking, you're stressing. Instead of thinking, you're activating things that doesn't make sense. You're picking unnecessary pictures. Instead of picking the right pictures, this is where the pictures work for you. And for you to be a deep thinker, you must develop capacities. And one of them is you must work on your technical capacity, your tactical capacity, and your strategic capacity. This is very, very critical. This is very, very critical. This is very extremely critical. You must work on it. You must work on it. If it's only technical capacity you have, yes, today you know that there is technical, there is a tactical, and there's strategic. Hold on to the technical. That technical is enough. Is enough for you to do what? To define your position in the economic ranking of life. It's more than enough. It's more than enough. It's more than enough. That technical is also more than enough for you to activate your survival mode. Then, based on that technical you have, you can ask, okay, what is tactical? That means there's need for knowledge. There's need for knowledge. There's need for improvement. By the time you gain the knowledge on tactical, there's need for application. And from tactical, once you understand that one, now you know how technical and tactical, you start going for strategic. You're still at this level, survival mode. Once you get this three, once the three is with you, you can your thinking will start taking shape. It's very simple. Please, when I mean gain the knowledge, don't kill yourself in the area of knowledge. I've seen some people that they know so many things, but they're useless with it. In fact, I've been in a class. We had a class and I was teaching. But before I will say A, there's a particular guy in that class. Before I will say A, he will relate it to a particular book he has read. He will mention the author. He will say how the author view what I was saying. And the guy, but the guy is frustrated. That means he has knowledge, but he doesn't know how to channel the knowledge to become an asset. He is just a human resource working up and down. He's not a capital, he's not an asset. But he has the capacity to become a capital, he has the capacity to become what? An asset. Just think about it. Just think about it. Just think about it. I will be stopping here, and the remaining time will be our contribution for the meeting. So next week, we'll continue from deep thinking. There's a whole lot about deep thinking. There's a whole lot about thinking. It's a deep thinkers own the future. That's a whole lot about deep thinking. So next week, we'll continue from deep thinking and move on. That's code number 3. So at this point, the floor is open. Like I said, it's a conclave. What are your contributions? What are your takes? Let's contribute. The floor is open for us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Read your contributions. I know there's a whole lot in your mind already. Talk to us. In the conclave, please.
Thank you. I'm very, very delighted to be part of this discussion. And I want to quickly thank you for bringing this up, especially within this our environment where technicalities and critical thinking is lacking in so many ways.
So,
Let me thank you for the topic. Significant persons live in the future. But the question people should know or should ask is why do they live in the future where we are today?
mm,
They live in the future because they are looking for problems to solve.
mm, 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 mm.
Everybody who consistently look for problems to solve is actually living in the future.
Beautiful.
If you
Beautiful.
solve the problem of society,
Mm,
you make wealth,
mm,
and that's where it becomes significant personality.
mm.
Whatever you see around you, what is your thought around whatever you're seeing?
Beautiful.
So that's why you see that significant persons don't actually depend on today. They have seen today.
Mm,
That's what I want to see tomorrow.
beautiful.
You see, Africa as a whole, we need to begin to learn
Mm,
the strategy in his thinking and his implementation.
beautiful.
Look at where Dangote was in 2011, and he says, I want to build a refinery in Nigeria.
Mm,
I want to provide petroleum product, refined petroleum product for Nigerians and Africa. He's not the only one that has that kind of work to do that here in Nigeria.
that's
But
very.
look at him. He saw himself being the biggest in that industry. He
Mm,
was able to think around it. He charted his process flow. And today here he is, uncomparable. Also, he thought around providing fertilizer that powers his farm for sugar farm and all sort of things. But around that, he said, I want to feed the entire Africa with fertilizer. And today here he is. He did not do it overnight. He was living in the future. His mindset was in the future. Where will I be if I implement this? And so be it. Today he is uncomparable. So anybody who wants to be a significant personality must always see himself in the future. If I get the problem of the society solved, where will it catapult me to?
mm,
So that is actually very important. And I wish our youth are listening to this because that's actually where we want to be. I also want to let you know that when we talk about you when you're in the bank, you are not allowed to think. Yes, I don't think you should be allowed to think at that level because you were within the operational
yes.
level in the bank.
Yes. Yes.
In operational level in the bank, you can't think.
Yeah.
If you think, you'll be able to do the work. So there are strategic position in that bank.
Yeah.
People who were trying with strategy. And in that strategic position, their duty is to think.
Yeah.
So when they think out how the bank should progress, your own at that level is to implement it.
Yeah.
So if you avoid implementing what they have thought and planned, then there is a gap. But also know, though, that it's only 5% of the world population that has this capacity to think.
Mm,
And because at that particular time, you were seeing yourself not actually connected with what you're doing. And that's what has brought you to where you are. Because you believe in thinking and you believe that you are not fitted in where you are. And you are thinking, you are seeing yourself in the future. And that future has actually uh, happened in your life. So that personality you want to be, you need to live your life in the future, thinking about how do you solve a problem of the society. You have waste around the area. That waste around the area, what are you seeing? Are you seeing waste? Are you seeing how to turn the waste into wealth? That problem you see in the area, how do you think it can be solved? That's how the whole world, that's how businesses are formed, thinking about providing solution to providing a problem in society. I think I need to stop here so that others
Good.
can
Thank
add.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't know if I'm permitted to put a little profile, a little of your profile. Am I permitted to do that? Please. So they will also know who the person talking to them. Maybe I'll get to know more about this. So I can in subsequent edition I can do that. All right. Um the conclave. That's where we are. Karen, you are raising hand. Please, can we hear from you? Please. You raised your hand earlier, Karen.
Hello, sir. If I did, it must have been an error.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What I would have wished to hear from you, that's reality. I know you give us wonderful contributions and all that, but not to worry.
I can say something just very quickly.
Go ahead,
Good
dear.
morning, everyone.
Good
Thank
morning.
you, sir. Thank you for today's session. Um, for me, there were a few things you said that is significant individuals they say in the future. And just like the last speaker said, you have to keep yourself abreast. I'm a graduate of the Learn to Live Business School. I did the consulting management consulting class last year, and that was eye-opening for me. It helped me to begin to think ahead and think ahead in the sense, if you remember what I told you last week, sir, my
Yeah.
my organization is going through financial crisis, and there's now downsizing happening, and people are losing their jobs. I don't know if I'll have a job beyond December. So this is pretty much living in the future, seeing
Mm.
ahead. Where do you want to see yourself in another 5 years, 10 years, and working towards it, even if it's with tiny steps. Continuous learning is something that you taught us regularly in
Yeah.
the management consulting course. You have to keep yourself abreast. Don't be satisfied with where you are. For those who have done doctorate courses, still go ahead to do postdoctoral research, write papers, continue to read. I say it all the time. My father is in his 70s. He hasn't stopped studying. Every time you see him, he's studying, he's writing something to keep his mind fresh. And it also helps to mitigate things like dementia and Alzheimer's disease, these continuous learning. So I think AI is here, but it can never replace humans. It's here to enhance the way we do things. It cannot bring that human element to business. For instance, let's say you want to give a speech. The AI is not going to give the speech for you. It can help you enhance your speech. It can help you write your document, but there's a human angle that you need to give or human touch that is required. So even though it's there, let us look at how we can work with AI to improve what we want to do or to develop ourselves. And another thing I'd like to talk about is as vast as the market is, we should all discover what our niche area is and
Yeah.
focus on it.
Yes.
Yes, niching down is very important. Yes, there are a lot of areas. People might say, oh, agriculture is there, but you could niche down to a particular area in agri and master that area and run with it. Another thing I remember as I'm talking now, last week you asked us, you said America does this, Europe does this, China does this, and Africa. I said innovate and create, but later on I kept thinking about it and I put that post up. I did a screenshot, I put it on my status and on my social media, and people were reacting to it. A number of people said Africa consumes. Yes, Africa consumes, but at the same time, I'd like to say Africa collaborates. You
So,
know, we've seen a lot of collaboration going on in many countries across Africa with the Western world. For instance, we've seen the proliferation of banking from UBA is now in many countries across the world and even in the Western world. That's collaboration. We've seen how our music and entertainment has gone global. That's another form of collaboration. Foreign artists are coming to Nigeria to collaborate with our artists and making music. We're seeing the sports industry, education. I'm doing a master's degree, another master's with Rome Business School. They're present in Nigeria. You know, they've brought the business school to Nigeria. So that's collaboration. So there's a lot of collaboration going on in Africa. Africa is a very vast market. And just like what this session is saying today, we should find our niche areas and try to, find where we can be ahead, be part of that significant population. Find your area. If it's in education, how do you work around it? If it's in maybe social impact or non-profit, how do you work around it and be ahead? I would like to end this by asking a question, sir.
Yeah.
You said something about when you were in banking, there's that limitation
Yes.
that comes with paid employment, and that we should not aim to be in paid employment for too long. That's a problem I have had over the years. And with the way Nigeria is and the economy, you just, it keeps you in that comfort zone, but it's a terrible thing. I tell my colleagues all the time that 9 to 5 is corporate slavery, but we don't realize this because you're just living on a paycheck. You don't make profit with your salary. You're expecting the same amount month in, month out. So my question to you is, how can there's a thing called intrapreneurship, where you should be able to develop a business within an organization, but our society does not. Then we're not there yet.
Yeah.
So how can you practice, maybe be in 9 to 5 and at the same time you did. Not every work environment permits it, and not every work environment will give you time to do it. So how can you create that balance where you're earning and at the same time you're building yourself for the outside world? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. There's so much to this answer. There's so much to this answer. And looking at what we are doing currently, where we are currently, the technology age, there's soon a lot that can give us money, a lot that can give us money while we're still doing our 9 to 5 and work. However, going back to say my banking sector, you must, like you said, also define where you have yearning for. Define the area you have yearning for, but that will help you because already you're spending a whole lot of time in the bank in your work. So you need to define something else that can propel you to move ahead beyond the time because it requires extra energy to do that now, extra push to do that now, for you to be learning something different. I will want to come from the smallest part of it. Let's say I love decoration. It come into your house every 3 months, you rearrange your house. That means your interior decoration is in your blood. That is one. Two, you love clothes. You love clothes. You love clothes. You love clothes. You enjoy it. Then you can also design. You may not want to sew it, but you can design different patterns and stuff like that. That means your ability to design new clothes is in your blood and all that. You can naturally learn how to sew and all that, then have a system where people are sewing for you. Your job is also to design the clothes, meet the client, design, do all that. The people will sew for you. You're still maintaining your normal work. So there's a whole lot. There's a whole lot to this question. There's too many answers to this question. But because I said is you already have your 9 and want to come up with another one, do what is inside of you. Me, I love thinking. I love thinking, and like Saiken Namani said, my operational part of banking does not allow me to think. So, but over time, when I noticed it, I made myself into two. I was developing my thinking capacity and at the same time doing my banking work because I need to get that money. I need the salary. Very, very important to fund this other part of me. And today, here we are. So know that thing that you can do extra at ease. So it won't choke your current work, then develop from there until it becomes a business. As we run this program, I'll do this meeting, you will see one of the codes that will help you to develop into this. I'll answer these questions you've raised, and you see the process it will take you, one step at the other, one step at the other, one step, and by the time we're done with the codes, you can naturally develop something alongside. Then when it becomes very strong and good for you, then you can naturally say goodbye to the 9 to 5 and focus on that one. It's just a process, and we'll break it down one after the other. Thank you so much. The time is it meant to be a 1 hour meeting, and this is 1 hour dot. So we'll be stopping here. By next week, God's grace, we'll meet again 5 to 6, the conclave. Please, from what you've learned today, put into work. Go back to your table. That's the essence of this class. Go back to your table. Make a difference. Live in the future. I want to say thank you to Sir Ekene. Sir Ekene is someone that you need to listen to. Someone I need to listen to over and over again. Maybe I will say, ask if I have permission to give his profile. I will do that on this in the next meeting. Someone I need to listen to over and over again is loaded. Thank you so much, Karen. Thank you so much for every other person that participated in the meeting.
Good morning, Doc.
Good morning. You're welcome. Thank you so much. We will meet again next week, but go and be fruitful this week from what you've gotten already.
I want to, sorry, I hope you don't mind. For those of us that missed last week's program, is there any way, did you send it to the...
It's recorded. It's recorded. We will send the recordings.
Thank you, sir.